Alright guys, today I've got another video for you. This one also requested by a commenter. It's going to be about Drive Rush and when to use it. So the first thing I want to say about Drive Rush, it's pretty important to know, is so there's two different kinds of Drive Rush. So you can use it in neutral off of a parry, and that only costs you about 1 bar. It costs 1 bar to do it like that. If you want to do it the other way, which is a special cancel, it costs like 3 bars. So there's a few ways you can route your combos with DeeJay so that you end up using a lot more of the parry cancel Drive Rush rather than the special cancel Drive Rush. And I'll explain probably some of the best ways you want to use it. Hi, excuse me. Sorry, cat loves being in the videos. But, so, the first thing you guys probably know, if you do EX just cool into the heavy follow-up, it leaves them like this. And that costs you about 2 bars. And then you can do a Drive Rush cancel and do some more stuff off of it. Which, this extension is pretty meter efficient. You use an EX and you get some follow-ups to get a lot more damage. And this kind of combo is probably going to be what his routing ends up being. It's a lot of damage for something very simple. The other way you can do it is if you do a special cancel. Depending on what button you hit, you get different frame advantage. So, for example, off of the medium, I'll explain it like this. So, the move you use has to be about the same frame advantage to link together with the Drive Rush. But after you use it, you get more frame advantage from that button, so you can go up a button. So, if you do a light kick, the combo I've been doing off of light kick to special cancel is you can do a light normal, either crouching jab or standing jab, into crouching heavy punch. And once you hit the crouching heavy punch, you can link that into crouching medium punch. So you can do something like that. It's a pretty standard combo. It does cost you 3 bars. You can see there's not a lot of damage, and it's not a great position. So doing this is really risky, special canceling specifically, because it costs a lot of meter and it doesn't give you that much reward. So mostly you're going to want to use the special cancel to get value out of a button that you weren't necessarily going to get value out of. So a place I've been doing it a lot is, so if you use forward medium kick to be your MIDI, then you have plus frames and you can use something like a light kick. But from here, the only thing you're going to be able to get is a Sovat kick. You might be able to make the light upper work, but most of the time you won't. Or you can try and go for a feint and do some mix. So you really don't get a lot out of this. You really don't. So what you can do is you can special cancel, and this puts you in a position where you have a lot more options. You can go to use more meter, or you can just end the combo there, or you can try for a reset in here. So the biggest use for using Drive Rush cancel in combos is to get more value out of buttons that you weren't going to get very much value out of. So like light normals off of a MIDI or something. That's a great way to do it. The other way you're going to be using Drive Rush a lot with DeeJay is just in neutral, because his Drive Rush is ridiculously fast. So you're going to fly across the screen, you're going to, stop them from doing whatever they're doing over there, setting up their neutral. Not allowed, you're in their face. So the buttons you're going to want to be using most of the time are your MIDI buttons. So forward medium kick and stand medium punch. These buttons give you a lot of plus frames to do whatever you want. So if you hit stand medium punch in neutral, you can go into crouching heavy punch. That links, you end up getting a lot of damage. You can end it right there, and you can see my drive gauge. I basically I used nothing for that. It ended up being neutral because of the low cost and the amount of moves you hit. So the first one you do, you're going to be neutral. After that, if you want to spend more meter, if you pay attention to the drive gauge, you'll see it stops going up as fast. So like we do it like that. It still goes up. If you end up using another drive gauge after that, you'll see it stops going up at all. It's basically locked right there. So you can use one in neutral, and when you use it in a combo afterwards, the drive gauge is going to have a really hard time going up. So what's going to happen is after the situation, they get knocked down, you're in pressure, your drive gauge is going to be really low. So you're going to have to do a lot of pressure to make up for the drive gauge that you lost. So that's something. But that's kind of what I wanted to say about the way they link together. Is you have to go the same level of button to the same level of button, and then you can scale up. So medium punch, you can go into medium punch, and then you can go into heavy buttons. And light kick, you can go into light punch again, but then you can go into heavy buttons. And that's typically what I do off of a drive rush pretty often, is I'll go into either light punch or medium punch, and then go to a heavy button. And you can do the same thing with heavy punch, which is also good because this move is special cancelable, and you can get a lot of damage by just going from medium punch to heavy punch to medium uppers. It's a lot of damage. So yeah, that's mostly what I wanted to say about Drive Rush. Just a quick video here. If you have any more questions about, what all you can do, but that's what I wanted to say. Pay attention to the drive gauge. Try to utilize more parry cancel drive rush and less special cancel drive rush, because the return and the amount of meter you sink in is a lot worse. You really don't want to be doing this unless you have to. Like if you hit something here and you can walk them to the corner and you really want them to be in the corner because they're low on health and you just want to rush them down, you could do something like this, and now they're in the corner and you're in a pretty advantageous situation. So that's a good way to use it. You just want to make sure that you don't sink a lot of your drive gauge into a big combo and then you get nothing out of it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get burnt out on the next interaction, and then they're going to have all of this advantage and being able to do whatever they want, and they'll have a full drive gauge and you'll be completely burnt out. And then you have to rely on your supers to deal with drive impact and all of that stuff. So just be careful on how you spend your drive gauge. Make sure that it puts you in an advantageous situation where you have enough drive gauge to keep playing the game. Try not to spend too much drive gauge and burn yourself out and leave yourself, high and dry, about to get smoked. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to say for this video. Hope you guys enjoy. If you have any more comments, make sure to like, drop any video suggestions you want, anything you want to see in the future. I'll try to do as many of them as I can. I'm working on some that I got before. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all that bullshit. But yeah, have a great day.